example of how the Noongar community is establishing its governance structure and preparing office bearers for the Noongar settlement.
Yeah, thank you. I'd just like to pay respects to the Yarra mob and all the elders here and past and those that are going to come in the future. I'm a Noongar man, I'm a Wajak Noongar, pretty much metropolitan area of Perth. I've got ties into other areas. Just want to acknowledge my auntie over here, who's also a director on the South West Urban Land and Sea Council. And Charmaine Anderson Wally, and some of you may have been in the earlier session with Stuart Bradfield and Glenn Kelly talking about the Noongar Agreement, which has been ongoing for some time now. But what's happened, I guess, through a lot of family meetings, agreement meetings, authorisation meetings, in terms of moving from a native title rep body and getting away from the native title process over to our, I guess, traditional owner corporations, which we've termed regional corporations. We've had to have a good look at the governance structures and what it means and what it entails. A lot of our community across the southwest said they didn't want the same people sitting on the boards as there's been for years. Those with the biggest mouths, those with the largest families, those that, you know, dominate. What they said overwhelmingly in all those meetings was, we want a paradigm shift. We want to see a changing of the guard. We want to see new people, younger people. We want to see elders that haven't had a profile in the past, but they're there. How do they get involved and so on? So what, I guess, the process was listened to, and the last two elections of the South West Urban Land and Sea Council was went from a 14-person board down to, we've got 6 agreement groups. So one director from each of those areas was went through a process, and we didn't go down and identify and label as independent directors. We labelled expert directors, because what we didn't want to do was exclude our own people. There's a lot of our Noongar people who've got expertise in particular areas. So if we said they were independent, well, it was independent of what? Noongar. So we wanted to try to build a capacity with our own group. So what we have is a process where if someone wants to nominate for a position on the board of the Land Council and the regional corporations, once we settle the agreement, that they put an expression of interest in, where they ask and answer 3 questions. What's your experience on a board or committee? What's your experience in leadership? And what's your experience in financial matters? Along with a national police clearance. So some people didn't like that, and overwhelmingly most people liked it, because what it started to do was identify people that have the capability. And the whole issue around cultural authority, well, it's a bit, I don't know, different. When we have our authorisation meetings and what have you, our elders and bosses and whatever, they just open it up and say, right, what does everyone think? And we do it collectively, from an 18-year-old that's in an authorisation meeting to an elder. So that sort of cultural authority is sort of being spread and shared in a large way, because a lot of the elders are saying, well, we've had our go, we've had our turn, we're getting tired, we're getting old, people are dying, we want to see new people come through the process. So what we have, in the first round of that, we had our 6 directors that were Noongars, and the 2 expert roles were taken up by 2 Noongars. And now I think we've got 2 non-Noongar expert directors that bring expertise into the committee there. But going forward, we've got an infrastructure of 6 organisations plus a central services corp. So we're going to need, I don't know what my maths like, but we've got 6, 8, so about 56 people we're going to need for this whole structure set up. So we have to go through a process where we nominate those people, they put the expression of interest through, they get to a selection committee and they get put forward, and then they get put out to the members. We've got about 5,000 plus members through our Land Council there, and they all vote on who should come through the process, and that's what we do. The earlier presentation was very interesting to me, and about, you know, the cultural authority and the corporate stuff. At the end of the day, bottom line is our people, where I come from, they over all the rubbish and bullshit that's going on in committees, in boards. Our people have just got through because of popularity or the loudest voice, and just caused a lot of havoc. What we've decided to do as a community is clean it up. A lot of people don't like it. They said, oh, you're getting like white people because you're putting this national police clearance through. Well, a lot of our people expect and deserve and demand better, and they want more than someone who can't pass a national police clearance. And people say, that's the white fella way. Well, sorry, that's the world we live in. That's how we have to deal with our business. And we've got our, the cultural elements are there and decision making's there, but in the cold hard light of day, we have to be accountable back to the people about what we do and how we do it. Because a lot of the community is saying, we're educated and we know about governance, so you can't pull the wool over our eyes. So our mob down south, we've just said, we've drawn the line in the sand and this is how we're going to go. Some people like it, some people don't, but I think at the end of the day, I think it'll get us to where we need to get to. Thank you.
Thanks, Gordon, the Noongar group have also developed a development plan, haven't they? In the lead up to somebody assuming.
Part of the process we've been going through with the grant, we've developed, there was a 9-module leadership program, which is for our community to come through the pathway of leadership and development. And so in there's all different modules that will help our people to understand a lot of this stuff as well. So we've got to do our own training. There's the Australian Indigenous Leadership Centre, and there's other institutions around that do certified training and what have you, but I guess our people wanted to see our own thing in place where we develop, and it may get accredited, but amongst our people, if we can set a prerequisite that they come through these leadership programs, well then it gives our people opportunity to train up and be ready for when the regional corporations come up. And currently there's been some work in identifying those that are nominated already, so they've been going through process as well to help them understand what's required for the future.
Right. Jason, I think you were